All right. Now probably for the best session of the day. Hey, Coach Nygel Pearson. What's going on, Coach?
What's up, boss man?
Not much. Coach Pearson, he was my head coach. The last stop. Learned a lot from this man. They're all in for a great session right here. He's got an hour on tap for y'all. So y'all gonna talk about pin and pull and some variations. Coach, you got it.
Thanks, coach. Oh, there it is. Where to go? Hey, man, I appreciate you having me. I'm excited. I've been jacked up all day about getting on here and talking a little ball. Let me see if I can figure this thing out here. I think we're good to go. We good, coach? I'm
We're
good,
good.
right?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
All right. Good, guys. So I'm gonna talk about. I know some guys call it truck and pin and pull versus multiple fronts and with some little variations at the end. Before, just to kind of give you, I learned this play as a player, and as a player, we kind of didn't run it against our front. And then I got to Catawba, and they kind of had a way to turn it into kind of like buck sweep versus our front before we just run outside zone to our front because that was our bread and butter. But we really like truck a lot when I was at Catawba, and these clips are from my time at Catawba College. We did not run it at North Rowan with me and Coach Tatum. Just didn't have the guys that we thought were good enough at the time, and we had a lot of guys playing both ways, so we didn't get no time to really teach it to get us an outside run. So we're gonna get rolling. Why truck? Why pin and pull? Get the ball outside right now. It's a run that you can call to get you. Make sure you get an outside run. Quarterback can still read defenders, and we'll talk about that as well. You can break your tendencies with your running back alignment. We've even dabbled it with being same side in the shotgun, in the pistol, and some under center stuff. And like we talked about, can run multiple under against multiple fronts, and you can run from multiple formations. And let's be honest, all offensive linemen like to pull, and in the way I teach it, we have all five of those guys have the ability to pull at some point against certain fronts. So that's what makes this play fun, and I think that gives a chance for the offensive lineman to buy into it and be really be excited about running it. Our even front rules. We'll talk about even front first, and it's easy. Okay, for what we talk about with our offensive lineman, if you have a down, take it down. Okay, so what that means is you have a guy in your inside on your inside shoulder. That means you no longer you're the down block guy. And I haven't heard down block technique. I can probably talk 30 minutes on just down block technique. But what we try to teach those guys is hand in the chest, hand on the back, and we like to put our face mask in the armpit. That's kind of our coaching point. Now you're gonna see some clips where it doesn't always happen like that, but that is what we like. Okay, and the reason we put our head in that armpit is when defense linemen like to spin out back toward where the ball is going. We can call what we call beat the back when those guys spin, and we can move with those guys to keep leverage. Okay, so we don't want to put our head behind them because we don't want to give up that soft shoulder. So we try to put it right in that armpit, and we work that drill when we first installing it. I start with a fit up, then I start with a just moving your feet. And then the next progression will be a spin, just to kind of get those guys learning, so they don't see me. And that's a great drill, and we can do it all guys at the same time, or I can rapid fire it down the line to teach those guys how to do those down blocks. Okay, and here's where the first puller is responsible for the force player. So that can be in the 8-man front, the guy who's already in the alley. That can be a trap corner. That could be versus too high. The Sam linebacker comes on out the box to that tight end side, and he's the player right now. Okay, so that's why we deemed it right there, the force player. So that made it easier. Before, I've been in a system before where the quarterback would let the lineman know whether it was too high or one high, so that lineman could know whether he had a guy in the alley or not. Okay, the second puller is responsible for the first inside linebacker to run through. So if that linebacker triggers right now, he'll have him right now. Okay. The backside tackle is the third puller, and I think that was what makes it a little bit special the way that we do it. We have that third puller, and he has the backside linebacker to run through, unless we have what we call Momo, man on man outside, and that includes 40 linebackers. Okay, so if he gets a man on man outside situation, or he gets a 40 linebacker to outside eye, then he stays on the end. He's no longer the puller. Okay, because usually what that means is we get some kind of squeeze scrape action or some kind of gap exchange on the backside, and we can still handle that if people want to try to gap exchanges and make our quarterback pull it into that scrape player. So that was kind of one of the tweaks that we ended up adding on later on that's really helped us. And we all skip pull unless the first puller has a defender on the line of scrimmage. So if we look out, we'll see it versus if we get a walk-up guy right now, the tackle kind of peep out there a little bit while he's getting his stance. So we have those guys in twos or threes, and these clips are in threes. And that tackle, and that sometimes that tight end let him know that he has a guy right now, and he will no longer skip pull. He will trap pull, okay? And my thoughts on skips and traps is that when you're pulling to a second level defender, we skip pull so we can track that guy. If you're pulling to a first level defender, that means a guy who's on the line of scrimmage, we trap pull. And those are the rules that we use in our offense to kind of keep things clear for our offensive linemen, even our gap scheme. So the second puller on power, the guard, he's a skip puller, and then on counter, and then the first kick out guy, he's a trap puller. So we always make that clear for our guys. And then the tight end, he's responsible for the end man line of scrimmage, and he's going to reach that guy, or he's going to pin him if he's a 9, if he's a 6 or 7. So we got some variations of how we handle different techniques on the tight end. Okay. Backfield, QB gonna set his eye square to the read key. We're gonna extend the ball, reading the end man line of scrimmage, and put your weight in your heels as you mesh with the running back. We do not drop step slide with the running back like we do in power read, because we want that guy to stay right there so he can get backside. We done the under center. I'll show you a clip of under center. People have always asked about that. We open that 5 o'clock play side and give the ball as deep as possible to the running back so he can still see those pullers. Running back first step with near foot to the running back on the track. If we're in the side puller and he wants to track the near hip of the second puller. And under center, it's a rocker step with that foot away so he can get some time to get behind those guys. Then he still tracks the near hip of the second puller. Okay. All right, so this is it versus even front. Okay. So we got too high right here. So whoever becomes that force player is right there. Okay. We've had some instances where you're going to see some trap corner stuff, and we actually got a little answer for that as well. So we got down here. It's a 3 technique, tackles down. It's backside shade, centers down. No man on man outside, so the tackle's going to pull. Okay. And he's looking for run through, force. We got front side backer. Then we got run through by that third puller. Okay. And it wouldn't change if it was 8-man front. That guy was already down. He'll still have whoever the force player is how we like to define that and make it clear for our guys. We really didn't like to give that. We kind of caught and got given that first puller a man, and that didn't kind of work out for us. So we like to say whoever the force player is. So whoever the first guy is in the D gap outside that tight end that happens to show. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Okay. Here, this is an even front clip. Let's go ahead to see if we can get a tight shot here. All right, here we go. So tight end is here. He got it down. He's going to take it down. Okay. We're going to pull here for force. He has a G shade backside. He's going back. We get a pull here. No man on man outside situation. So we're going to get a third puller. And now we're going to read the defensive end. Now, this part of the down block is that you will see that tight end, he kind of taps that outside foot right there. I lost it there. He taps that outside foot, and that's just in case that guy goes across his face. So we always say that we can lose that guy. We don't want to lose him outside right now. So you see that nice little tap right there? We teach that there. Okay, you'll see these guys cutting here because this is college, but in high school, we tell those guys just landmark that outside shoulder and run through it. So we got skill pull by all 3 guys. And there's our tackle on our backside run through. That's nice on the backside. And then our guard has that front side backer. and our tackle is going to whoever that force player is, which happened to be that roll down safety. Running back does a good job of getting into that second puller and kind of let him decide where he's going to go, and then he gets vertical on it. Coach, let me know when I got like 10 minutes left.
I got you.
All right. Here's our next clip versus even front. So we like to make sure we got the look we want. Sometimes we'll combo this thing, and if we get a 9 technique, we run power base. If we get a 6 or 7, we'll run truck. So here it is. It's a good coaching technique right here. This is a bad job by a tight end right here. But we had an O-line coach tell us back in the day, don't swap head gears. So anytime you swap head gears, like right there, then you're beat, right? First puller, force. He keeps chasing that guy, which is fine because that's our force player. And this is a great job by the backside tackle of getting run through for that backside linebacker. That's nice right there. We came to find out that this was easier for us, okay, with that backside guys, instead of having to send that tackle through. Some guys say, hey, let's go ahead and try to get him here right now and cut that guy off. We found that it was harder to get around the trash than pull around for it. It was easier for us. A lot of guys always predetermine who's pulling. We didn't like to do that. Those guys communicate and let them know who's going and who's pulling. And we had different kind of words that we use for those. And we let those guys kind of come up with those words. You'll see the center right here. You see that tap step right there, just in case that nose try to cross his face. The tackle, okay, we talked about our that down block. So if we kind of like to term it as if that guy, the guy you're blocking down on, if he has some of your shoulder, you can tap. Okay. If he doesn't have you near your shoulder and he's already on the next man, then you can go ahead and go right now and take a step with that near foot. So those are kind of things that we taught. Now my guy right here, he's not really doing that, but that's kind of the mindset that we like to have with those guys. If that guy's covering your body at all, let's tap it just in case he crosses your face. Okay. But if he's already not on your body, we're going to block him down. Let's say this guy was a 3 technique right here. Okay. Then that tackle can go ahead and get all of him right now and step with the near foot to the down block. This is the running back being a running back. The tackle, the tight end got beat, right? But he doesn't quit on the play. Because of that, we're still able to get us a good run off because he doesn't quit on the play and being a smart football player. All right, here to give versus even front. It's a nice shot of those guys skill pulling from the side, getting around the trash, and then getting vertical. And we still reading that backside in. It is from the butt. Here you go by the tackle right here, right? That guy's not covering him, so I'm gone. I'm all the way into it. Now, this is from a wing set, okay? Tight end not attached. We kind of cheated him out a little bit on this one, but you'll see some of the clips later on where he's in a wing, drop alignment, and he still stays in the hole right here. And one of the things about that we only like to do it with a wing, okay, when we knew that we were getting an over front, okay? Because what happened is we learned is that if we didn't move him out, okay, or he wasn't attached, and that tackle had a pull, it wasn't a good play for us because those tackles and those tight ends, they ended up hitting together, okay? So we would give the quarterback, hey, those guys knew if this happens, then we're not going to run it that week to that look, and we're not sure that we're going to get a 3 to the drop tight end side. Okay, so that's what we was always we're conscious of. And if we didn't know what we were going to get and we want to run it to a drop tight end, we'll combo it with another run So if we did get that, let's say we might be power that week. Okay, if we get an open B gap and that tackle's gonna pull, let's just go power. Okay, so we'll combo that call to make sure we got in the right look. We're getting our look back tempo stuff. Good job by the tight end right here. Down blocks look good. Okay, our center, like him to get a little more, don't let that guy get back over the top and kind of run him. But a lot of times you see what happens right here with that center and that down by that tackle, they end up running to each other, which is fine. Good job by third puller, tracking that guy. I like to see him get that hat across to cut off penetration, but we still end up getting a good play. And the good thing about, some of these clips, the guys, they don't have to be pretty blocks all the time. You don't have to be pancake. We saw some earlier, but we getting on hats, okay? We covering guys up, and we creating running lanes and letting running backs be running backs. Let's go to the tight. All right, so down, we pulling, we back, skipping, no man outside, wide, two back of box, we good to go. Now here's a trap corner, okay? We would like to see our puller, okay? Those guys kind of replace guys right here, okay? We'd like to see him go there, him come here, and that guy be right there, okay? Our first puller, go ahead and took that guy as a force player, fine, okay? We know with two guys on that backside backer, and they don't have anybody else. They don't have anybody else to fit it. I like the center right here to be a little bit firmer. He's getting a little antsy because he's stepping with that other foot, okay? Trying not to let that guy beat him over the top. And that happens, okay? You see our alignment by offensive line right here, right? We cheat. We gonna move furthest back as we can until that referee tells us to move up. So you see those guys. We want those hips, those helmets breaking that center hip. Okay, breaking that center hip. And as long as we're good there, and they don't tell us, we're not moving up. Okay, until they get us. So that also creates some separation. So with the center, if he is giving up some penetration, we're still able to get around with our alignment. This one kind of ended up cutting back on us. Okay. Another straight even front. From our drop alignment, we go ahead and put them outside the tackle right here. That's our forward. Now that guy forced it right now, so we went ahead and took that guy. And you kind of see our second puller trying to get to the other guy because they got a good understanding of who responsibility we have. So the second puller is like, okay, let me go ahead and get around if I can. Okay. But that running back rule, okay, is what? He'll put a second puller, right? But he sees green grass, he hits it. We get the third puller on that backside backer. Okay. I don't want you to be discouraged because we're cutting here. It's still just as good if that tackle just runs through that front side shoulder. The play will be just as good. It is from the butt. It have to be kill shots. So watch my tackle kind of get beat, but helps him is the down block by the tight end. Not a great, not some say, an awful cut by the backside tackle. Wing set, tight end outside. Not great by our receiver right here. Go to the butt. It's a great job by that left tackle, okay? Put that hand in the back. We'd like to see him get it down a little bit more, get his helmet down a little bit more to be in there. That's a nice job of having that hand in the back and being able to keep leverage and moving his feet. So now we don't have a man-on-man outside situation, so we still got our third puller. And let's be honest, guys, and make sure we're talking clean talk, but a lot of times that third puller doesn't get to that guy. If the backside linebacker got to make the play on the outside run, then, you know, that's still a 5-yard gain if he's making the tackle. I'll take that all day long. All right, I'm gonna get to these. This is I think what kind of makes what we did a little bit special. Okay, here's our situation. Let's look at it. We get into nub trips right here. Okay, we got trips, nub tight end. We still got our force guy. Now they bump the safety over and they bump the backer out. Okay, so now my tackle knows. Okay, I got man on and I got a man outside. Okay, it's an ace box. Okay, ace box, man on man outside. I'm not pulling anymore. Okay, while the running back is reading, the quarterback is reading the end. He'll say, hey, he'll see that guy block the end, so he knows he's gonna go ahead and hand the football off. So now we're holding that guy, and if that tackle he doesn't quite get back, he's kind of get that guy a hand. He can almost get two right here, and then get that angle right there, and we'll be cooking with grease. And the sift, just like guys sift on a sift technique on inside zone when it's an ace box, it's kind of the same thing right here by what that tackle's doing. Give him a hand, bam, then he flattens out, then we really cooking with grease. Good job by the tight end. That guy's not on the shoulder, so I can step to him right now. Tackle's bad, because he doesn't get that hat in that pit. That guy beats him over the top. I love to see number 74 keep running through that inside shoulder of that backer. That's a great look at it by that tight end. Head right there on that shoulder, almost in that pit, that hand that chest, that hand that back. That's a good look. And we're not cutting that front side. That first puller, go back to the tight. He's running his feet. So, like we talked about the cutting on the second level, on the college level, we don't have to worry about in high school. We can still do it. All right, here's another man-on-man outside clip. Tackle stays on. Same look, no trips look. We're just going to count. That's ace box backer for us. Corner, safety. And our linebackers are bumped over. Nickel Sam right here, Mike. Okay, and here's the Sam. So that guy's bumped over, and that's how they're going to play no trips. And that's a good thing about no trips. You can kind of see how guys going to play it and what they give you. Tackle stays on. I'm fine with that. Better job by those guys on the down blocks. The right tackle here doesn't quite have an understanding like the left tackle did earlier. We're trying to gain the hat, but we're still good. Like we said, that guy got to run across and make the tackle. But still how big game was that? That's still let's see. 8-yard gain, we'll take it all day long. Backside linebacker got to run, make tackles. Great plays. Another Momo situation. Tackle, no trips. We like it out of this no trip look. You'll see man on, man outside with ace backer box, corner, safety. He has a good understanding. All right, now here's a look of that first puller, knowing that he has a fourth defender on the line of scrimmage. So now that turns into a trap pull right now. So now in this instance, when we have that man on man outside, we only have 2 pullers. A great job by the running back of squeezing that hip of that second puller. Squeeze, 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 burst. We already talk about the man on man outside. Here it is. Man on, man outside. We got 2. That's the guy we'll pull for anyway, and he's already moved himself from the play. So there's no need for me to skill pull. Okay. And giving him an opportunity to squeeze and scrape us on the backside. No need. That guy's inside. The tackle kind of sold out because he's not covering. I'm okay. Tight end does a decent job on the down block right there. Getting in his way, shielding him, and we got hats on hats. Running backs on safeties equal good plays. Here's a little different deal look for you. With our 2 tight end look. So here we go. It's the first time you're going to see the tackle pulling, okay? What we call buster, 2 Gs. So we're going to get down here, centers down, guard, tackle. With the tight end backside, we don't worry about the man on man outside. Okay, we're not reading it, we're rolling. We'd like to see that tight end drop, okay, and try to get his outside. That guy's not in those. There's a tackle. He's on the force guy. There's the force player right now. There he is. Second puller gets around. It's a bad job by the Mike right there. I don't know what he's looking at. I have no idea. So when that happens, okay, there's no cutback player, right? There's nobody. All right, this is a good one right here. All right, watch our right tackle gets beat, okay? And our third puller ends up being the trash man. No, coach, we did not draw this up like that at all, okay? But he ends up being the trash man. That backside backer, when you got a threat of a running quarterback, that's definitely going to slow him down if he's looking at the mesh and not looking at surface keys. So we got our force, we got our second puller coming around, and our third puller ends up on the guy who the tackle should have been on. Okay, now we get cute, right? We down the season a little bit. It's been a good play for us. Okay, we know we're getting over front of trips. We'll get a little short motion, okay, and we miss on the crack. But you know how when you get down to the season, you try to give yourself different looks. You give people different looks on how you want to do things. Here it is again. We can see it better. Let's see from the wide. The tight end whiffs on the motion. We're able to clean it up with the second puller. So these not perfect clips, right? And my third puller still coming around. Looking, still fitting. Did it work out the way we drew it up on the board? No, sir. We still kind of end up with hats on hats by the way things kind of sorted out for us. And it's great when you can have a number 5, the nice little scat back we had that can kind of get vertical. I think he saw that second puller kick that guy, so he knew that he needed to get vertical right now, which is a good run by him. I just a clip from under center versus even front. That running back, maybe he can be a little bit slower, but the rules don't change to the offensive line. So what we've done, we formation you with our rip trips look, got the same thing, doesn't change for the offensive lineman. We got under center, still doesn't change for the offensive lineman, okay? We short motion, okay? Still doesn't change for the offensive lineman. Now, the thing I'll tell you about that short motion, just like we talked about with the drop guy, you got to make sure that we get the 3 to those trips, unless you're getting a tackle pulling with that down block, and it's not a good look. But we look at the under center from behind. Little drop. Got a little bit wider than that second puller. Tight end does a good job. Tackles good job. Tap. And what you got to get these guys like, it don't have to be kill shots. Just be on guys. Okay, so we talked about now. Okay, now we're going to dress it up another way, right? So we done rip trips. We've done motion. Okay, now we're going to shift. Okay, and we still reading that in. So we get into these. Now that end squeezes. So here, shift. We knew that we're going to play some man. So we're okay with that. So we got a squeezing guy, and we got a 30 backer. So we have nobody to play the quarterback backside. It's a good job by our quarterback of reading it. Okay, whenever we don't have, he doesn't see, he knows that we're reading that. If he doesn't see two on outside, we coach him up. He knows he's reading it now. Good job by him. So it still gives you to do all the options, all the stuff you want to do in the read, RPO world as well. Now, this is the ones that, as an O-line coach, right, I get back in the film room then on Sunday, and I'm like, oh, man, we got it blocked up, okay? And he pulled it. And he should have. That's his read. You got to live with those. And it's still a 10-yard run. We'll take those. Now, looking front side, that 10-yard could have probably been a touchdown if he had that thing off, right? But he's doing the job. He's doing what he coached to do. He don't know how the thing's going to turn out, okay? But that's what we coach him to do. Tight end does a good job right there of just being patient, tapping and covering that guy up. Force player ends up being the inside backer. So we on that guy right now. And we'll be cooking with grease if he hands this thing off. Lord have mercy. Every time I watch the clip. But he ran with the puller, so that's what these coaches do. All right, here's one more pull read. There it is. And what's great about this, right? This guy is probably taught that if he gets down block or he gets away, he's squeezing. This guy's probably taught he's reading surface keys. So he gets pulling. So what's he doing? He's getting over the top. So you can't have it both ways, right? So ways of kind of getting the defensive guys kind of confused a little bit. I think that's awesome. One guy reading service keys, one guy told the squeeze, getting the hip, and now we off to the races. All right, now let's get in the eye front. This is where we get fun, man. I love it. Okay. Now the center, okay, we identify eye front, whatever that call is. Okay. Guys, Okie, whatever you want to call, he identifies his eye front. And then the same thing with even front. They let those guys know how we're treating it. Okay. Now you're going to see a clip later on where it looks like an even front. But for film study, we decided we're going to treat it like an eye front. Okay. So whatever that the center identifies the front as, that what rules comes into play. Okay. So now what changes is, okay, the front side tackle and tight end, they will gap double, okay, to the backside linebacker versus 50. So essentially the second linebacker in the box, okay, versus 3-3 stack, they're going to double to the mic, which is the second backer, okay. The front side guard will still have the same rules, okay. The only difference when we make it eye front, okay, now we have the guards are pulling. They're locked into pulling when we identify eye front, okay. When he says okie, whatever the call is you have in your offense, once that happens, this triggers this, okay. Backside guard, front side guard, both skip pulling. Like same rules come into play. If we got a force player up on line of scrimmage, we're gonna trap pull with the first puller, and the backside tackle will skip pull as well, unless he gets the same man-on-man outside rules, okay. Now, what is this? We talk about that scramble reach, right? I didn't know what to call it, okay, because we didn't want him to reach like his outside zone and give up too much penetration. So we've taught got that center, okay, that kind of fit near shoulder and kind of roll your feet up. That's what we call it, a scramble reach. So it's a fit. I'm throwing my hips and kind of running my feet around to get leverage on that guy on that scramble reach when he has a nose. I let those guys. That's what he wanted to call it. Once we talked about it, so that's what we do. Okay, so like we said, eye front, both guards pulling, no matter what. Backside tackle, he's pulling unless he gets his man-on-man outside rules. Tackling and frontside tackle, tight end, they're doubling to the second backer in the box. Okay, and now I think that one thing we did was we called it both schemes. We at first we had two different names. Okay, if you know you're getting eye front or you in your look back tempo, it may be for you to do that. Give it two different names. But later on, we got some older offensive linemen, and they were able to identify the front and then figure out what scheme we're going to use. So you can do it either way. Let those guys identify the front and know the scheme, or go ahead and give it another name when you know you're getting eye front. So those rules are locked in. So either way that works for you will be great. All right, here it is versus 3-4. So we got the tackle, tight end, double back. Okay, we got our force. We got our frontside linebacker. We got a man-on-man outside situation. So that backside tackle, he's staying right now, or he's sifting, whatever one you like to do. Okay, it doesn't change for anything else in the backfield. All right, 3-3 stack. Now we doubling here. Okay. Now remember we talked about in our rules. Okay, 40 linebackers. Okay, we're gonna Momo those guys. Okay, we're gonna treat that like Momo. Right now he's a 50, so same. Okay, now here's it gets tricky. Okay, we start talking about tight front. Okay, well, how do you handle tight front? Well, we get a tight front, we'll switch with these guys. Let's go back to the 50 look. So if we get a tight front, coach, okay, we'll let that guard stay, okay, and we'll pull that backside tackle versus the tight front. The front on the front side doesn't change. Okay, those guys are still double back. But if we do get a tight front, okay, we'll make what we call a switch call on the backside, and we'll let that tackle pull in the guard to stay. Okay, so we still only get two pullers in that look versus the tight front. Okay. Am I good there? Okay. Talk about that here versus the 50 versus 3-3 stack. All right, here it is right here. We identified as odd. Okay, so this game right here, just kind of give you a little background information about the ability to call it and not have to worry about the front. Is this team played odd and even back and forth? Okay, so our P and 10 call this week was going to be some kind of formation and truck, pin and pull, because we knew in our run game that run had all the answers that we wanted. They line up in even and odd, they line up in 3-3 stack, and they line up in 50. Okay, so we knew that we could protect ourselves versus all that stuff with calling pin and pull. And that's one of the things that you can do if you're able to get those guys to identify the front and know which scheme applies to those fronts. Let's go back and watch it here first. There's our double. We're doubling back. We got our scramble reach. Tackle the sides, man on man outside. I'm okay with that. He's staying. Trap pull by that first puller because that guy's on the line of scrimmage. So we're going to trap pull him. Here's my second puller. He's getting around that scramble reach trash. And now we got running back on safety. Tight end whiffs on the backside backer, but he gets enough on him, okay, to affect him. It's from the tight. So right now, if they were in tight front, okay, that got bumped to that 4-eye, okay, we go switch, guard, block, now tackle, we'll pull, and we'll still only have 2 pullers versus the odd front if we in versus tight, which I know a lot of defensive guys are playing right now. Here's our scramble reach. He's getting a little more penetration I would like. But what makes this play is the double team. That tight end push hit, getting that near hip. We talk double teams, right? Gap doubles. Displacing that hip. Hitting that hip. Bam. Good. Now we don't want to see him lunge on that backer, but he good job of hitting that hip and getting that movement. All right, this is what we did as well. That we would always start that guy in the pistol, and we would shift him right before the snap. Here's him. Let's start front side. We got our double, and our tight end gets a cut right here, and I think he kind of just falls into it because he's out of control. It's a better job on that scramble reach, but what happens is that down block with a double, and it turns into a down block, gives him a shot right here. I ain't going backside. I think he's just out of control. But our rule, man on man outside, I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna double down. Now, hey, did y'all watch CJ Kane earlier? Any of you guys from Barton? That's him right there. That's him right there. Back in the day. So we got a good squeeze and we get a log, right? So that second puller, he see those hips flip. He doesn't see numbers anymore, so he knows he goes around. And this week, these guys like to cut cutters. So we were big on teaching that this week. But like I told you about earlier, same thing, just ripping that backside arm through that guy's front side shoulder is just as good as cutting, guys. Just as good. Get your skilled guys in space, man. They go, this is a good look. Let's go to the tight. Let's get this one if I can get through. I know Coach Tatum gonna get on me here a little bit. All right, here we go. I'll tell you that doubling, and that guy comes up right now. Bam. He goes right into that tight end's track. Tight end does a good job. We got a trap pull because the guy's on the line of scrimmage. We got a man on, man outside, so the tackle stand. We got our scramble reach. We got our double right there. They try to plus it over, run into our tight end side. We're still able to get us a seam. How you teach a scramble reach? Cause we just kind of, it was almost like a field thing for those guys. This is kind of the first year we did it. And like you see right here, that guy slants, it kind of helped that scramble reach guy and just widen that thing up in the middle and getting the ball outside. 10 minutes, let's see.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes, go.
You got 10, Coach? All right.
Yeah.
The off front clip. All right, this is what I want to get to, okay? All right, so we knew, let's go to the tight. Okay, now this look got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 down linemen, right? Technically, this guy's standing up, but we knew game planning that they like to act like this, but they really were our front team. So we identified this as an our front, even though the guy's a tight shade. So with that, our tight end's going down. He gets blown up right here, okay? But guess what? It's a good block. I still got to go around. With the trap pull, by that first puller, he's able to get that guy and log him. I like to see that tight end give him a little help, but he's getting his brains knocked in right here. But guess what? That's a good block, guys. He didn't make the play right there, so we're good to go. And now we got our running back one-on-one, okay, with this point, the safety. I think that might have been the corner we were in real trips. But that's what we want. We want our skilled guys on their skilled guys in space. Here's one more shot of the same game. No trips. Can you flip the running back and run it to the backside? Now, Coach, I was going to ask guys, we hadn't really got into running it without to the tight end side. I know some guys do some stuff like that, so I'll be interested to talk to us if you want to run it away from the tight end. Right now, we always run it to the tight end, so I have to, try to figure that out. Good question, Coach. I was going to ask you, even talk about it on the back end to kind of see what guys do if they kind of got a way to run it. Now, this is the deal with that center. I'd rather him get on that guy right now. The trap pull there, big CJ Kane again, okay? That trap pull helps, right, with that wrong arm. Great. Okay, so we never teach those guys to roll. Like guys say, okay, roll that guy. No. Go to trap him, and if he wrongs arm, the roll naturally happen. It happens naturally. Same thing on any kind of gap scheme run. Okay, go to that first puller, go to trap him, and if he wrong arms, it'll happen. Okay, don't go with the tension to loop around that guy. Go with the tension to kick the guy out. And that second puller, he sees that hip get around, and now he's outside. One-on-one with skill guys. That's all we want. I want my best skill guy, running back guy, on those skill guys. Quarterback eyes right there. Look at the helmet. See his eyes right there? Okay, he sees the read key block. He treats like man-on-man outside. Okay, that's a little different. We game planned it like to run it like that this week. Okay, the way they were playing it. We're going to go ahead and do that. Ooh, Coach, I'm about to get to that, Coach. You're getting ahead of me, Coach. I'm about to get there. Hold tight. All right, I'm going to talk about Coach Tatum. Give me 15. My man took 2 of my minutes. Didn't he 3 of my minutes? Okay, so hold on. All right, so now here's the variation. I'm getting excited. Here's the variation, guys. You see through these clips, the main guy that kind of get beat is the tight end, right? So we make a call, right? Where we'll arc the tight end to the force player. The first puller will now trap the defensive end, okay? And we'll flip it up a little bit. If we feel like going into the game week, they're playing a 9 technique, okay? We don't want to run power base, or we feel like that defensive end is a better player than our tight end, okay? Now, I didn't come up with this. We got this from watching the Chiefs probably, I don't know, about 5, 6 years ago now. We were watching some cut-ups, and he kind of jab and arc that guy, and we really like that, okay? And you will see that right here. All right, we got a 9 tech. We arced it. We went ahead and called the arc right here. Let's see what the technique was. Come on. I don't have the tight on this one. God dog it. Okay. So we decided, hey, that 9 technique, let's go ahead and arc him. I think he may be head up on him. So we arced him, right? So now my first puller knows now with our call, okay, that we're trapping the end right now. We're kicking the end. Bam, bam. And we still got our man-on-man outside rules right here. Look at my tackle. He's like, oh, I see him. I got to stop. Put my brakes on. Bam. Go back to him. And that's the guy, right? That's an unblocked guy. And he can't run over all the trash. It's just like in gap scheme versus 4-3 box. Okay, you may not have a guy for that 7th guy, and he got to run through all the trash. Same thing. So this was our change-up, guys. And I think the way the man-on-man outside, the way we handle our fronts, and this right here is kind of what separates, but I think that makes our play being a great play because we had those answers. I think anything that you're going to kind of major in and put time in, you got to have answers to all the situations, right? We go again. We arc them now. I would like to see the tight end go right now to the safety, okay? Now, what he's doing is he's checking the trap corner, okay? And now he's going because he knows it's too high. But watch what happens if he goes to that guy right now. Bam, we get a good kick. Trap pull, bop. And he finds the second puller. Now, when you do this, guys, when you add that arc into it and you kick that defensive end, it's going to hit inside a little bit quicker. So those running backs have to know that this play is probably not going to get outside. Because all this kind of turns into is counter with the arc on the front side. Bam, bam. But we still get our play, okay, versus a tough end. Here we go. We missed a little bit of it. There it is right there. And we're still able to get inside. All right, here you go. Who my man? Tony asked me that. Here you go, Tony. Okay. We got our variation with the QB. Okay. Now, the offensive line, we would call this something different. Okay. Why do we call this something different? Because in this scheme, okay, we don't have the force player anymore. The force player belongs to the running back. Okay. So we would call it something different to let the offensive line know, no. We're no longer responsible for the force player. Okay. So the first puller now has the second puller's responsibility in the old way. Now the second puller has the third puller's responsibility in the old way. And the backside tackle, he's always based in the defensive end. And you will see here, our quarterback's going to give a little fake here, okay? And that tackle is kind of going to give him a high hands and a high hat to make him think it's pass. They kind of hold that backside backer, right? Because we technically may not be able to get to that guy, okay? And this is great for goal line short yardage for us. Watch the quarterback. Give him a little hat and watch his backer right here. Watch it. He's out there playing pass, right? And now we're able to gain hats. Here we go. Rules still apply. Okay. Now we don't have the arc on with this one. The tight end got to take that guy. Okay. Got to take him. Okay. He got him. We called it. He has them all day. It don't matter. So force, now he's essentially the first puller. Second puller, he's looking inside now. That guy kind of, plays. I wish the quarterback takes it all outside. He still scores anyway, so we good. But I think that's a great variation, Coach, especially in short yardage goal line situations. We got a lot of mileage out of it. Here it is again, goal line short yardage. This guy's a little bit quicker on it the next year, but we still got the same thing. Even look at the tackle right here. He knows that he doesn't have that guy, right? It's like an itch he wants to scratch. He want to go get him so bad, but he knows he doesn't have that guy, and we still get our second pull around for that run through for that backer. This is a great look at it right here. No man-on-man outside rules is always tackle staying big, and there we go with the running back leading. All right, this is a little neat deal we did. This is like almost like triple option kind of deal, okay? We knew that they were going to try to scrape us on the backside, but instead of having the linebacker play the C gap, they like to play the corner. Like, hey, that corner triggers, you just flip it out there. And we also have that tag on the backside of some of our inside zone stuff. When we're loading this guy, we bring in our guy around to load the alley guy. That guy triggers. Okay, we'll load here, and that guy be our read, and we'll do the same thing. Because this safety got to get all the way over there. That's stealing. Here it is again. Kind of got a little, that corner kind of, but he still tried to make the play. Little pop it over there. Okay. Still would have been a good game for us. We got a drop on it, but that was there. Guys, I want to talk about the RPO world, right? I want to put this clip on here because we always talk about what gives this play issues, right? And the main thing that I think that gives the issues is if linebackers walk up in those gaps right now, okay? And week to week, we determine that, okay, if a linebacker walked up, you treat him like a down lineman. So if you got it down, you take it down. Rules don't change, okay? And this is what it did when we was reading the backside backer. We were dabbling with the RPO world, okay? That backer disappeared, and we had a nice slant window right there. And look what happens here. We only get one puller. We got guys mugged up, okay? And we're actually in a unbalanced right here. Okay, so when we went unbalanced with the tackle at tight end, we went arcing him. He was always going to be down, regardless of what it was. He was going to take that guy. And it's a nice deal for us. That's it for me, Coach.
Awesome, Coach. I'm gonna let you. You have any comments? You want to say anything? I'm gonna get Coach Workman in here while you're doing that.
Guys, any let me see. I got some questions here.
I think they some of those you kind of hit on them. People saying it was stealing with the boxes you were getting.
Okay.
Stuff like that. But yeah, pin and pull. The three pullers. I don't know what defense is going to be doing when you got three guys pulling around. I'm sorry. But yeah. But Coach, I appreciate it. I'm gonna get Coach Workman on here, and we're gonna keep rolling. I appreciate
it, guys. Hey, that was my where I have my stuff on here. You can shoot me an email, or you can hit me up on Twitter. There it is. Yeah. All right, Coach. Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too. See you.
All right.